In part 1, I built a 3D reference in Blender for the slope surface primitive shape so I can use it for reference as I paint in this part. The question was whether or not having a proper 3D reference would actually improve the painting process at all. So let's find out. If you're new here, my name is Phi. I've been working as a 3D artist for a long time, and recently I've been working on getting better at my 2D skills. This channel is where I document that practice and make mistakes to try and do better the next time. Here's the setup. I traced over the 3D render to get a rough sketch as my starting point. I already did the full perspective construction in a previous video, so there's no need to redo that here. From there, I painted with the 3D render up on the side, just using it as reference for observation as if it was set up in a real physical still life. Again, this exercise is about assigning values to sloped surfaces based on their angle to the light source. Each plane sits at a different angle, so each one gets a different value. That's one big takeaway here, is that for every value change, it equals a surface change. The steeper the angle away from the light, the darker the value. With that said, I did skip this pass and jump straight into painting to focus purely on the rendering. In hindsight, I think doing the value assignment would have been beneficial and made the painting stronger. This was a mistake I already made previously, and I obviously didn't learn from that. There were a few things I was trying to apply from previous practices. 1. Start broad. Use the big brush first, work across the whole painting before going into details. Don't finesse the painting early. 2. Working layers and merging down as I go. This helps keep things flexible without getting out of control. 3. Was making sure the light, mid, and shadow areas are readable as 3 distinct zones. The 1, 2, 3 read and the halfway to black rule for shadows values here. Both of those came from a previous video on assigning shadow values and definitely stuck with me. 4. One brush the whole time. The square brush with the tilt enabled for direction, that kept the decision making simple. The other things I was trying to stay aware of was keeping judgment out while working. As artists, we tend to evaluate and work while we're still making it. That internal critic kicks in and it affects the decisions you make and ultimately affects the painting. So this is where I ended up. It's not a one-to-one match of the render, and it's not supposed to be. The reference was there to inform the decisions, not to copy from. The values, the light behavior, the shadow fall off, that all came from the 3D render, but the painting is still driven by the rules and techniques that were covered from the book. And of course, whatever judgment I brought to it, in good ways and in not so good ways. So I wonder if the 3D reference helped. I think so. Having a clean, controllable still life to observe from with real occlusion and bounce light gave me more to work with than the previous attempt. The results isn't perfect, but I feel like I had a lot better information going in. This is something I'll probably come back to, using 3D to set up references for 2D. It feels like a natural way to bridge the two mediums. Let me know if anyone else is using 3D tools like this to support their 2D practice. It's a little unconventional and there's some technical setup, but it's kind of neat to explore, and I think it might be worth it in the long run if you're still trying to learn. The real-time version of the Blender 3D modeling and the painting session is dropping next if you want to see the full thing at normal speed. As always, thanks for sticking around and catch y'all on the flip.